Mindset, blessed love, manners, and respect. Want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, and also Empress Menen I. Marcus I, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Warm welcome, beautiful brothers and sisters. One more day above ground, as they them know. Life is our ultimate position. Nothing no greater than that, no matter what go on. On top of everything that is going on. Zane, we have a very powerful reasoning, line up for the item today. Would I love the item to start interact by pushing the like button, you know what I mean, like the video and share it amongst your friends and families. We have a very special guest on the platform today. Zane, I'm honored to really have this honorable priest, a foundation priest from the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. As I said, it's an honor to have the Honorable Priest Knuckles on the platform. The first time I hear this Honorable Priest is a couple of years ago still, Zane. But when I heard the Honorable Priest culturing, within a reasoning, I was, just blown away, by the brethren culturing still, so it's a great honor to have the Honorable Priest Knuckles and the Mindset program today. Blessed love, Honorable Priest. Warm welcome.
Oh, blessed love, my Lord, and give thanks for this royal opportunity to speak with Royal Star Mindset, and share our tradition and our, to the word, share our tradition, our trad with the man, and vibration as we go along through the earth, moving from lowland to highland. My Lord and Majesty, blessed.
Blessed love. Warm welcome again, my Lord. Great to have you here.
Selassie.
Jah, Rastafari.
Rastafari.
My Lord. Yes, Honorable Priest. Make we take it to grassroots, Jamaica, is that where they grew up?
Yes, my Lord. Yes. Grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, a young youth. And came to the United States in 1970 with the family,
True.
And yes.
So what it was like before coming into the States in Jamaica?
Well, it was a normal tradition walking as a young man that I never have what I call a suffering life. Yeah, because my grandmother had a shop, one of the first shop in Waterhouse.
Same.
Grew up in Waterhouse,
Yes,
and so I never knew what would I call a suffering life. Even though the life in Jamaica, we're poor, but we never suffering.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a Waterhouse, it name back in them days, eh?
Yes, my Lord. Yes.
Seeing. And how it get to name that Waterhouse? Cause that names carry meaning,
Yeah, I don't know where the name really originally come from. I grew up at Barna, I think at Matches Lane, my mother say. And then when I was about 6 years old, I went to stay live with my grandmother, you know, in Waterhouse on a little road called Scarlet Road.
See.
And that was the beginning of my journey, my lord. Yeah.
Them place there is taboo today is some garrison, ghetto, bad place. I did ever experience any of them type of vibration there in the community?
No, my lord, not really. Them time there, the body set a man or bad man at that time, them used to have a gang, them called the Pigeon Gang. And them time they know was more ratchet and knife violence. In time before I man leave, it never get to the state of gun violence yet. You know?
See,
So we're talking about 1960 to 62, them time there. You know? Mm.
Rastafari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
them
man.
time the Jamaica just get independence, and it was it was more a joyful place to be in Jamaica in that time than where it come to be now
What
with the violence, you know?
what Jamaica not being independent or
No, I mean when time we get independence in a 62, I remember that distinctly for them they'd have some them had what you call dance, square dance at Moline Square, and most of the major intersections did have a big dance in a 62 when time Jamaica get independence. I remember that distinctly, you know.
see,
Mm.
see. Pardon me. See. All right, and what was that like? What was growing up in a them time there like for the eye? As the eye said the eye didn't face no suffering, but we are a poor people, poor and have not. As a
Yes.
youth, I grew up, we do youthly things, shoot bird and all of them type of something there. Uh, are them type of thing that I grew up at.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Got a bird bush with the slingshot. Remember, me have a auntie where she was like a tomboy, and she and her boyfriend and all her with up on one little bicycle. One youth did come from England, and people them come from England, and 3, 4 hours up on the bicycle ride go down Olympic way down. Them have a bird bush. I remember if a woodpecker avenue, so me let down the side there. Yeah, way down. I mean, as youth, it seemed like a long distance, still probably only about 3, 4 miles, but yeah, used to go a bird bush and all of them things, them my lad. Yeah, man.
Rastafari and Bill Kite and all of them thing there.
Yeah, man. I play, play cricket and football in the road and, you know, walk barefoot most of the time. Mm.
So as a youth in a them time there, what was the experience of seeing Rastaman within the community?
Well, that time I never experienced when about 64, 64, 65. Um, I was going to Tarrant. Went to Tarrant when I was 12, so that's about 60, 65, 66. And there was a Rasta youth named Emmanuel where, we walk come home from school, and him used to come at the school and them used to make fun of him for some time after not have no shoes. Them used to have a plastic shoes. I think them used to call it Tarzan, where was the cheapest shoes that you could have buy. But when time the sun get hot and you walk on the asphalt, it's like it a melt. So when time I come, I have to take off all them shoes. Him used to live on the Gully Bank by Olympic Way and Bay Farm Road. When time after Bakawal did mash up, Rastaman them scatter, you know? And when we reflect back now, I realize that even from them time they did open onto the Rastaman because a few one that did want to walk with him, you know? Most ones that make fun of him at them time there. Yet me and him always walk home at evening time. As a matter of fact, he'd have a little cut on my forehead wherein he'd have fling buckle, pick up pieces, buckle and along the way and flick them down on the sidewalk where I walk, and one of them bunks up back and cut me on my forehead. And for years, every time I look on it, I remember a little youth there, you know? Yeah. But that was my first. Well, when we did the water house still, before I go to Tarrant, at the end of the road, there was a piece of open land. And a Rastaman did, you know what I call it, capture them days there.
Yeah.
Just build up him house, yeah. And I used to walk across the property because before him come there, it was a shortcut to go to a supermarket up the road, you know. And yeah, me used to walk through there. Now you have people that afraid, and I man never have that fear there. In hindsight, me I look back on it, me realize that me never did afraid for walk through the property, but me never have no correspondence with them at that time, you know, only the little youth where me used to walk home with, you know.
Yes, I.
Mm.
So in a them time there is when the Rasta man is seen as the black art man.
Yes, my lord, definitely so. Yeah, and I remember also we used to take the number 8 bus go Waterhouse, and me auntie did go. Them used to have a theater out at 3 Mile called Deluxe, and we did go at the movies. And when I come home, I was last bus I catch, and I remember being in the bus, and there was a Rasta man that was talking, and I don't remember what he was talking, but all I know say you have people that say, listen to the Rasta man because he might talk the truth, you know? And there was a silence in the bus while he might talk. Now, later when time I come to know Dada and the Bobo tradition, me I recognize say I was a Bobo because there wasn't a scan and a fear of him in the bus, but more listen to the wisdom of the Rasta man.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first encounter hearing Rasta man talk. And he was simply talking about truth and rights. I remember him say something about them comb the little girl them hair and make this big part, and if you don't know, say the hair for protect the head. So when you comb the hair and do it like that, anything can lick her in her head and she get her head bust. It was, you know, no, when you think of it, it was just a reason about natural things that he might lick against, you know? The bald and the combing of the hair, you know? Yeah, yeah.
I say something that stand out, you know. I said there wasn't any fear of the virgin, you know, of the Ras.
Yes.
Seeing,
Yes.
is there a difference? How people might perceive Bobo Shanti and a different set of Rastafari, brethren.
Yes, my lord. Yes. Um, in when you come to present day and the journey with Dada, you recognize the Bobo carried a certain respect because of how we travel. And one of the things that the people them was afraid of was the dread because it was unusual to them.
Mm.
So that through the Bobo ear did cover up, that fear and that dread wasn't as loud as the man with Lego him locks. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that man did have him made tie up as a youth on the bus. You know? Mm.
Rastafari. Yes, I. All
And
right.
then through the father did when we come now to be with the man and see the father, that him culture was about black people in general and their rights and their justice. The Bobo man would attack within a different way than some of the other man them who are burn fire for the people them and burn fire for the ballad.
Mm.
You understand the difference?
Yes, I.
Yeah, yeah. So that fear mode was less in dealing with the Bobo Shanti Rastaman than with the general Rastaman who them call dread. And dread
Mm.
means fear. You know, see it.
True. True, true.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a stigma though with that black heart man thing that might have drive fear in the people?
Yes, my lord. As you grow up, you hear your parents them say them trying to secure you, would try to tell you not to deal with them man because them a black heart man. And as far as the narrative was that black heart man would steal children and cut out them heart. Now there was a time and a history when there were some youths, one or two, that were found in caves with missing parts. And I don't remember the great details of it. Later it would turn out that we had white man come to Jamaica and was sourcing organs. And because the Rasta man live up in the hills, he was accused of those things. So that's why them call him the black heart man, like he might take out hearts out of young children. But it wasn't the work of Rasta man, you know? It was the work of white men come and them still do these things in poor countries today. Cause you know the price of organs, you know what I mean? In
Yes,
them
sir.
system, yeah, there's a whole heap of money for those things. So
Mm.
the Rasta man was accused of those crimes, which he wasn't guilty of. The Rasta man rise up under the banner of peace and love. You see it?
True.
Love for the people and a liberation from the oppression of the people by the white man. Yeah, but the media and thing associate those crimes, though there were few, because I don't remember more than two or three stories about that in those days. You know what I mean? As a young youth. Yeah, but later would I read that yeah, it was white man who do those things, my lad. Come along in the country and come reap young people organs, you know?
I think the I going to America um give the I a more better understanding of
True,
what
true.
really was Who
happening.
was the perpetrators back
True, my
then?
lord. True, true.
All right, talk to me about transitioning to, going into America, my lord. Talk to me about that experience.
Well, when I'm on go, I'm on ended up in the Bronx. And my mom care up all of us. There's five of us. And we had to all share one little one bedroom apartment. And your thoughts at that time was this great America. And you think about everything shining and nice. When I wake up in the morning, I was on the fifth floor of a apartment building in the Bronx. And when I looked through the window downstairs, I was around there so them keep the garbage. And a whole heap of garbage. I remember saying in myself, say, "Ah, this is the America." But me remember reading in magazines then when them talk about the ghetto. So me say, oh, so the ghetto we live. But when you're watching TV, you know, see them thing up on TV of America. So when time you come, yeah, that was a surprise to me. I remember the morning when I get up. I think it was a Saturday morning too, the first time. I said, America ain't all pretty, you know? Yeah,
Rasta.
but living in the Bronx was more to me, more to get into a more crime and bad vibes than my living in Jamaica at a young age, you know? I was introduced to more criminal activities, gang violence, going to high school, and all of those things, you know? So, me never have that growing up in Jamaica. But when we come to the Bronx, yeah, we introduced to that in our community, you know? Mm-hmm.
See, and looking back now with the experience that I have now, and looking back, what would you say is the root cause of the nature of how youth should have conduct themselves in those community at that time?
Um, in hindsight, when you look, any area that is very poor and the people are very poor, you have a higher incidence of crime,
True.
regardless of the country, regardless of the color of the people, and all of that. So these tall buildings, you remember going down to go to school and man in the hallway or do things and your mother warn you say no associate with them people there and people sit down on the corners and all of them things there where it's a survival mode. It's like where I would have said the concrete jungle.
Hmm.
You come to the realization say this lifestyle I know is like a jungle, even though you're in the great America. You see it? Yeah. It requires a certain strength you have to build to survive in that arena, you know? Or the resources are small, are few. So you have to compete and struggle
Mm.
for the survival, you know? Yeah.
Rastafari.
Mm.
Yeah. It's funny still, you'd have think Jamaica is more a place where you'd expose, to them type of, level
Yes.
of I don't know, um, criminality or garrison.
Yeah.
Them days that was the term projects was that term being kind at the time?
You mean in US?
Yeah,
In the Bronx? Yeah, man. Um, when I came, my mom had a friend who was him really come from Trinidad, but him grow here from him small. So him basically you call him a black American.
yeah.
And him used to do deliveries. And him carry me as a young youth. Me come up 16. So as a young man, all when school in the summertime, would I work with him on the truck. And him would have carry me down in a Harlem, what was really the projects. All a building. In the Bronx, there was some 5-story building without elevator. In the projects, all the buildings with elevator and all of these things. And one of the things that I remember them used to have, what them call um, rent parties every Friday night, Saturday night, and I guess Sunday night or what you me have to go to school, me never go with him. Friday night and they would go to the apartment. Everybody get out one apartment and them have gambling, sell liquor, all of that. Out of the gambling, the house get a money. So that was how them would have paid them rent. Saturday night they move to the next one, you know? Like we say the concrete jungle, so black people create ways of survival because the income low, you know?
Yes,
So
I.
they used to call them the rent parties. That me remember going down in Harlem to the projects when we just come. Mm.
My lord. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting. Um,
yes.
what trace of Marcus Garvey was left behind that you notice?
Um, you know, in Harlem, there was very black conscious in terms of who were our oppressors. When you go, especially when you go to Harlem, you know, there was a degree of black consciousness that derived out of the UNIA and the teachings of Marcus Garvey. I don't remember them talking much about him, but them mention within them tradition of people going back to Africa, mostly amongst the Caribbean folks. You know, the Black Americans were more entrenched in staying here and that they deserve certain rights and looking for their civil rights and justice amongst the people. Now, this is in 70s, so that was a time when the civil rights movement was very loud, you know? So, yeah, the time of the Black Panther Party and all of those things. So, as a young black youth coming up from the Caribbean, when you go to Harlem, like I say, I never get that great sense of blackness in the Bronx like how you get when you go to Harlem. Harlem was alive, black place, you know what I mean?
Yes, I.
When it come to black consciousness, yeah. And you'd pass and hear man on the corner I profess and declare blackness and the what them call them black Jews them
Mash that subscribe button. See you on the next video.
I just start the mindset.
Mash that subscribe button. See you on the next video.
I just start the mindset.